So the American dream growing up is different to me compared to my colleagues in this panel because they probably might have heard the word American dream more often than I did. But I just knew for me, this probably was just my dream. But for my family, was a family of immigrants, was the American dream. Many people say that education is like your exit ticket from where you grew up, and I want to say for me that's true. For me, in education, through my primary and secondary years, I wasn't the best student. I wasn't the smartest student. I was majority mediocre, and I had my own deficiencies in subjects that I enjoyed. I had this A's and B's and the honor rolls on those subjects. Subjects that I disliked or I didn't understand or couldn't get it, I had my C's, D's, and even F's. So from that to achieving an associate's degree, then a bachelor's degree with a minor, and now a master's degree with a graduate certificate, my path has changed. College was on my so-called vision board, but it was going to be just an associate's degree. I wasn't thinking of moving on forward to a bachelor's or even a master's. So education has been a struggle finding the new path that I am. But if it wasn't for education, I wouldn't be in education right now. From my from my upbringings in community college, with all the help of the resources, counseling, transferring to a four-year university, getting my BA, and then actually going for a master's and achieving a master's, that's how I found my new path. And one thing that I learned was to return back and give back to my community. So as I completed my master's in educational counseling, my goal is to return back to my community, either back to my community college or any other university or college in the area, and become an educational counselor or advisor for students who are struggling in college and help them out to tell them that you're not the first one struggling and you won't be the last one. You're just having a hurdle in front of you that you just need to accomplish. So that's how I'm facing my new path. My new path is now to work in my degree field so I could help the next generation. In high school hindsight, I hung out with all populations, I want to say, all groups, because I was outgoing. I did ASB, Associated Student Body, I did yearbook, I did Spanish club, I did other clubs, sports, tennis, and other stuff. I was all rounded with everybody. But my main group of friends, those were the group of friends that I took honors and AP courses and I was successful. And then I had a group of friends that I was stuck in remedial or normal level courses, and I would bomb those courses because they were just not exciting. Honors and AP was the thing that hyped me up to say, got me excited to go to class and everything, compared to regular courses that were like, I was already, my mind was more ahead, but my grades didn't reflect that. So I was a student when my friends succeeded in A's and B's in all their honors and AP classes. I as well succeeded A's and B's in my AP and honors classes. And if they took regular courses, they were bored, I was bored, but they succeeded and I was not. I was falling behind. So my group of friends were different. Were different and same at the same time in high school, but now when I went to college and bachelor's and a master's, especially at my master's, we were all in a program, in a cohort that we all were in there for the same goal to achieve this master's degree, go back to our communities, and use our counseling degrees to help others. It's hard. I don't think I had one because I didn't see anyone as an influence. So, but now on the flip side, I'm becoming an influence to others. When I did academic advising internships in my community college and during my bachelor's degree, my undergrad study, I would advise students in the communications degrees like Kelsey San Bernardino, and they'll come back and say, "Hey, I spoke to my department chair. Hey, I spoke to other faculty, and they're able to give me the extension." Like I was not the voice of reason, but I was a voice for students who couldn't voice for themselves. Even within my own community, in my own community, could be either my internal family or my extended family. I could brush off ideas with my external family. They'd be like, "You're not supposed to do that. Don't do that." What people are going to say about you? They all prefer to focus on the image and not be criticized than be a positive and yeah, go for it type of people. And also the Latinx, Latinos and Latina or Latinos for this community has helped me because I'm able to speak to others who I want to go talk to who are already in current situations. Like to me, to become an academic counselor, I don't think at where I'm working at Kelsey San Bernardino, I want to say we probably have 2 to 3 Latinos who probably identify as Latino, Latina, or Latinx for academic counselors. And then we probably have about maybe 2 or 3 who are African American, and the rest are probably categorized as Caucasian. So there's still a need. And as a male, there's probably 1 or 2 male Latinx advisors, counselors at San Bernardino, and more needs to be hired because I want to be part of that hire because I can make the change. And because students are all different. And when it comes to a Latino student and a Latina student, their stories are different. A Latino male giving a story to a Caucasian counselor will never be able to identify. I was a mediocre student. Only was supposed to get a community college degree, but I surpassed that. I was supposed to become a breadwinner, go work 40, 50 hours a week, and whatever money I made will go into the household. Not, not now. I broke the stigma. I broke the glass ceiling on that I have that every Latino male or Mexican American male has to do X, Y, and Z and be the man and all that, and which is not. I am a man, but I changed my background. That's what I would like to say. I changed my background. I decided to go to school. I knew I was going to have struggle going to school, but I was going to persevere and complete. And I did. So whatever I'm doing, it's not just going to be my success, it's going to be our family success, especially being a child of immigrants who one just attended high school and one left her country with the middle school education. Believe you not, when I achieved, when my sister and I achieved our high school degrees, diplomas, and when she achieved her pharmacy technician license, and I achieved my associates, my bachelor's, and my master's, it brought a lot of joy to our parents to see that they created 2 humans and checked off boxes of their American dream. I want to say this is a 50-50 situation. Helpful because in education, I'm already in a category that's the majority. So knowing that I attended universities where first generation populations are extremely high, that means they're able to serve the first generation population more. unfortunately then the second or third generations of students that attend those institutions. There's more for first generation, more support, more services than anything else. So that's the helpful part of that. As a first generation at a community college, hey, I don't know what to do. Please help me out. And they will happily and kindly direct me to the right location I need to go. Same thing when I transfer to my bachelor's and when I need help with my master's, like, hey, I'm new to all this, please help me out. And that's the best thing about being first generation. They're willing to help you out. And then as a first generation who learned everything, it's now my duty to share it to the next generation. So when they go into their educational adventures, they'll they already have someone to connect to if they're struggling, or they already know how to find their way in the system. If it's study habits, planning, stuff like that, I fail at all that because I will take the time, I will plan everything, I'll create to-do lists, I'll create reminders, put sticky notes all over my computer and in my monitors. But at the end of the day, when you have the adrenaline rush and then it's last minute stuff, you just go, 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 and you just realize that dang, you completed everything on your to-do list without even knowing. So I'm not the the sponsor to say do X, Y, and Z because I don't do X, Y, and Z. For me, techniques come and go as the day progresses. So to the next community, they're gonna be the next fighters and winners.